everybody.
Oh.
I forgot.
We're leaving
It's
this
okay.
in.
We're leaving it in.
And we definitely...
too.
Yeah, we definitely planned this. It's okay.
Okay, we're just gonna keep going. Hey everybody, and welcome back to 3 Mics in a Pod. I'm Kourtney.
I'm Jenna. And I'm Peyton. Today's episode, we are talking about the second book in the Dream Harbor series, Cinnamon Bun Bookstore by Laurie Gilmore. So we're going to start with ratings, and I thought that since we've all read the first and second book, I thought we could say maybe our rating and which one we kind of like more. Like if we like one more than the other, so.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, I liked this book a lot better than Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I feel like it had a bit more to it. And by more, I just meant a lot more sex.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the last episode, I rated Pumpkin Spice like a 3.5. And then this one, I think on Goodreads, I have it rated as a 4. And I feel pretty confident in that. Like, I remember a lot of it. I really enjoyed the journey we were on with Hazel and stuff. So, but it wasn't like insanely memorable, I guess, as like some romances are for me. But
Yeah, so I had kind of same thoughts as Jenna. I did put this one on Goodreads as a 4. Did finish it yesterday, so I might feel different about that later. But yeah, I kind of feel strongly about that 4. I don't always rate romance books a 4 just because sometimes they're kind of, I don't know, they feel like they can be everywhere.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed Hazel. I absolutely loved Noah. Absolutely loved Noah. So definitely gonna kind of stick to my guns here.
Yeah.
Keep it a 4.
Yeah. I definitely like the cinnamon one more. I also rated a 4. I feel like it was a little bit more memorable, and I think I overall liked our main characters, our female main character and our male main character a little bit more than Pumpkin Spice. So yeah, I would agree with everything y'all said. Before we get into the plot of it, I know as soon as I started reading this, I really felt more drawn to Hazel almost. Like I felt like more connected to her in some way just because of how she goes about her living. And she feels like she's this grandma who she only lives in a book all the time, and she doesn't do anything crazy or rambunctious. Like, she's always there, and like even in the book, this is jumping, but when she starts missing things to be more crazy and like a crazy lifestyle, people are like, spontaneous, yes, and they're like, whoa, where's Hazel? I felt like I kind of went towards that, and then the male main character, Noah. I love a male main character that is down bad for the female, like all the time, where he is just outwardly expressive of how obsessed he is with the girl. I always love that male main character, so.
Yeah, I love that. I will have to agree about like Hazel. I thought like she was very human in the fact of like, I feel like a lot of women, when that like 30 creeps up, it's just like society has ingrained in us that like we are undesirable when we hit 30, and I think like it was very natural for Hazel to have a bit of a freak out and be like, I have not been in an actual relationship, you know, and I want to feel sexy, and I want, you know, and yeah, I loved her. And same about Noah. I love, just like you said, a down bad man. And he was so down bad from the get-go. Was like outwardly was like, I
saw it. I think even in like
I think in
Spice
like the crumbs
like,
and everyone like
definitely
made those little
that.
notes.
Yes, like how he always like would be in the bookstore because like
buying a book from just so
book.
he could see her, and then he like would start
talking
reading
about
them.
it. Yeah. I'm like, I am obsessed with that. And he's also just a reader and a fisherman, and I ate it up. And has tattoos, right? He's like a bunch of tattoos.
Yeah. A bunch.
He was a ginger though. And
I did not picture him as a ginger.
Me neither.
I did not. I had
As a ginger, and that is something that I'm like,
they said it, and then
like coppery hair, and I was just like,
I don't remember that. Like I was like,
no offense,
your
Ed
hair.
Sheeran.
Quite literally imagine like your color hair.
Totally.
Like yeah,
Okay.
copper, but no, brown.
Like brown with like some red tint maybe
wearing
there.
flannels, and like he wasn't a flannel wearing boy though. That's
Absolutely
more Logan.
not.
But I don't even remember what he would like wear all the time.
Did she even talk about it? It was more of what he didn't wear, I think.
Yeah, it's more of just like his naked body. And all of
And
his
those
tattoos.
tattoos. Yeah.
Yeah, was it the naked like mermaid?
Oh,
his, like,
they're kind of big. I think that
yeah.
was a mermaid.
Yeah, because I think that's like what they talk about in like chapter 4 that I keep talking about. Like she's tracing it when they're in the vineyard, like when they're at Logan's like farm, like family farm.
Oh
She's
God.
tracing it, asking him like, where did this come from?
Right.
Like, what is
That's
this?
so real.
Right.
Where did this come from? I'm gonna kiss you now.
I'm gonna kiss you now, and we're doing this. Chapter 4 is crazy, but I'm not hanging on
It
it.
was so fast. Like I said in my Goodreads, like I was like, oh, pumpkin spice was fast, and then Laurie Gilmore was like double time.
Double time, moving quick. Yeah, when I was looking back into this book, it's chapter 1 where it starts off immediately going right into the mystery for this book, and we immediately. I mean, we've seen Noah in the first book, but it's kind of that meet cute with Noah. So did we like? I honestly like this mystery aspect a little bit more. It feels like a scavenger hunt.
Why am I blanking out? What's the mystery aspect?
It's the
the
defaced
notes in the
books.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
there's these defaced books. They're in the wrong shelves. They have dog-eared pages and
And
highlights.
they're like upside down or they're backwards.
Yeah.
They're
Oh, I don't remember who did it.
Okay, we'll tell you. It's okay.
It'll
We'll
be
tell you.
surprise.
Because honestly,
I was like, wait a second.
I was
don't
so
remember.
close. And
Really?
then I was so close. Like I was like, oh, because in the beginning I was like, oh, it's gonna be that, and then I was like, wait.
I wasn't expecting who it was, but then I was like, this is actually really funny.
Because like I was, and then I got thrown off. Like she like threw me off it.
Yeah.
And so like we're spoiling the whole book, and I won't spoil this
I have
right now.
absolutely no clue. No thoughts. Can't remember.
It's okay. We'll get there. It'll be a journey.
It'll be a surprise.
Yeah. Maybe it'll probably hit you halfway through it.
Yeah.
It probably.
I have
will.
an idea, but like I could not explain on that idea of like I don't remember reading that if it was them or not. I don't know.
Yeah, I will say that through the entire book, it kind of, I mean, I thought it was this person the entire time because it kind of gaslights you into being like, it brings it up so much. Everyone was like, it's Noah.
My heart and soul was on Noah. I wanted it to be, because that would have been the cutest thing ever. It would have
just wanting to hang out with
Even
her.
then-
Doing it and planning these dates in a like unique way to would be like, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
go
because
do
he's like, oh,
this.
it
felt
would've
very
been
coincidental.
adorable.
Yeah.
Very,
It would've
like,
been
fate, like,
adorable.
But like even I mean I liked the fact that it wasn't him because it's like this happened at the perfect time when Hazel was having this like midlife crisis.
Yeah.
And being like, I need to have a man.
Right.
I need to get out.
Yeah, she's like, I need to get out. She's having this crisis, and then this book becomes like damaged in her bookstore, and Noah's just there.
I just love how focused she was on it. She was like obsessed with
I
it.
would totally be too.
And I was like,
Yeah.
that is me to the core. I was like, who did this? What is going on? Because you've seen me with Christmas decorations. Like, I cannot. Like,
Tunnel
I
vision.
cannot.
Yeah.
Tunnel vision.
It'll
Courtney
be the
wants
only
that
thing I think
end
about.
final. She wants that closure on it. She wants to wipe her hands clean.
Yes.
But
it has
respect.
to be done. Like,
Yeah.
it has to be complete. Otherwise,
And done well too. You
Like,
don't like
I still
squirt.
have dreams about the freaking the what are they called? The garland at the stupid store.
Yeah.
At the store, I'm still thinking about those ornaments not hanging right.
I think
I'm
it's
still thinking
I think
about
it's beautiful.
it. And the
It's
fact
beautiful.
it's missing its mistletoe. Okay?
Mistletoe's coming. It's coming.
It's coming.
Arlene, she's promising me.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She's gonna come
I'll
through
make
with
my
that.
own.
We can make paper mache mistletoe.
Yeah,
Anyways.
we'll make some.
Yeah. So, and then I think chapter 34, our first like big event is the bonfire at Logan's that he does with everyone. And I thought it was funny because Hazel hates the outdoors, and I was like, I hate bugs and outdoors.
Yeah,
I
like
would be
bugs.
the way she was reacting. I would be reacting the same exact way. But yeah, this bonfire at Logan's. They talk about if parrots smell like fish or if Noah smells like fish, and Annie was bringing it up. Because you know what? Honestly, I'm starting to love Annie. She is actually really
I
funny.
cannot wait.
She's like, no, do you smell like fish?
Yeah, a book and a half.
And then somehow from the fish smell, we talk about smutty books that they're reading and pirates.
Yeah, and Hazel's also getting drunk, or she is drunk. Like, right? Like, she is.
I think she's thinking about getting drunk, and then she goes to get it. Yeah. She's sober, and she's like, you know what? I just need to go. Like, she's hearing all this, and Noah's right there, and she's getting all hot and heavy because it's the books that are in her store.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't be thinking about pirates or dudes around.
Or Noah.
Or Noah. I can't do this. And so after all that, like, conversation happens, that's when she goes into the grandparents' house and I think maybe goes to the bathroom or something, finds a wine bottle, and then goes to the blueberries, which is clue like number 1 in the book. It's something about blueberries.
Yeah.
And she gets drunk by the blueberries, and this is
She's
where
like,
we get
"Look,
Noah.
the blueberries."
And he's like, huh?
The books, and he's like, what in the hell is
about?
this woman on?
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with her
Yeah.
at this point?
And so now we get Noah, and so it's by the bushes, and I can't really remember much of their dialogue.
It was
there.
like, so he, I just listened to this in the car just so I could refresh my memory.
Mm-hmm.
But, they were talking a lot, because she was like, I'm 30, and like, the clues, the book, and he's like, if you having a stroke?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
and she's going off about that, and then they're talking about, like, the friendship bracelets on his arms from his nieces, and he is having those, like, really, like, I'm not a good uncle, but I'm not going to tell her that while her head's on my shoulder, because I don't want to ruin this moment, I want to savor it.
And this is where they make the agreement to search, or like,
if another clue happens and stuff like that, like, he'll be a part of it.
And I did make note, I was like, this is when they first kiss, which is like chapter 4.
Yeah, which I was like, what in the hell?
Yeah.
And
but low-key, I was kind of eating it up, because like, I read pumpkin spice and then immediately went into cinnamon bun. And so pumpkin spice, like, there wasn't a lot. And so for me, in my romantic heart, I was like, okay, like, I'm not typically into this, like, insta-lovey, but, like, I've read a few, like, Friends with Benefits, like, books, kind of vibe, and, like, I don't know, I kind of ate it up. But I also did not like how she was drunk, but, you know.
Which he was like, he did stop the kiss.
He did
stop,
and
I wrote down a quote that I think y'all, I know specifically Jenna would freak out, because it reminded me of another book, and after they kiss, one of them or both of them are like, oh, like, I think Hazel starts regretting it. Like, right then and there.
She's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. And he goes, and I quote, Hayes, if you weren't kind of drunk, I would have kept on kissing you.
Yeah.
And I instantly thought of this particular scene in Powerless by Lauren Roberts when I read that quote, and I thought, oh my god.
Pulling the heartstrings out on me.
I need to finish that book, guys.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything else, but like that quote kind of gave like just like your good like little romance, because Powerless is kind of fantasy romance maybe.
It definitely
it's
is,
gonna be a little
because
fantasy romance.
I got like 100 pages in, and then I was like, oh, pumpkin spice.
Yeah. Right.
Quite literally what I did.
That's such a good comparison.
But I had to write down that quote because it just, there's a similarity in that book that Jenna and I gawk over all the time. And yeah,
I think I know what it is because everybody posts that quote.
It's very yeah. The day that we talk about that whole series, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm excited for it.
The third one's coming out
in
next
March.
year.
April 4th.
Yes.
Have it memorized.
Yes. Happy birthday to my sister. That's her birthday, but it's also a birthday for me because I'm getting this. I'm getting my questions answered.
Yes.
But yeah, I had to pull that quote when I saw it because I was like, and yeah, I said yeah. Okay.
Love.
Yeah. And so that's kind of the end of it. They get like caught at the end, and Annie and Jeannie.
What were you doing?
Yeah, they all like come with like flashlights, and they're like, "What are y'all doing?"
Okay?
And obviously it looks suspicious.
And then Annie was like, "It better be to her house, not yours."
Yeah.
Because
Noah's like, "I'll take her home." Yeah.
And everybody's so confused. It's like, what the hell happened in the bushes that all of a sudden they're just like buddy. He's driving her home now.
Right.
Because they weren't that close. He was trying to, but I honestly, it was fast for me. But it made sense now thinking back after kind of recapping with Pumpkin Spice and being like, we did have a lot of crumbs of their romance in the first book. So it wasn't like instant really. It just was for that book if you're picking it up.
True.
Not really remembering anything else.
True.
Right. Yeah. But then I like in this book, there's like a little footnote kind of transitioning us into like some of the other clues, but I feel like we got more backstory or like family explanations through Hazel and Noah, because then we got a deeper look into Hazel's family, because then the next day Hazel has like a little diner date with her dad, who's the mayor,
Yes.
And they talk about.
I liked she had 2 dads.
Yeah.
I
love
didn't
that.
even know about that.
Right, and we didn't know about that
the
pumpkin.
first one.
Right.
They never touched on that.
And her mom, who like still is like really, I like that
Living
they have
with
a.
They're also
They have
close.
I like that they have a close relationship, and then like she has like dogs who like
Yeah.
are
Who
Who
are
are
like
like
dogs.
something. It's 2 dogs, but then Noah appears, and then the next thing I have is the second clue, which is the milkshakes.
Oh yeah. Well, that's when she doesn't tell him.
Oh yeah.
She doesn't tell him about it because she doesn't want to bother him, and she got caught.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
grocery store.
Because then this is another moment where I'm like, it has to be Noah. How is he at the grocery store at the same time? And he's like, what are you doing, Hazel? Like buying milkshake. Like he knew. It like felt like he knew what she was buying.
At the same time, we were really more in her perspective at that point, and she was like, why does it feel like he knows?
Yeah.
Because at the same time, when you're hiding something, you always feel like everybody around you knows what's going on.
Yes.
Like you always feel that way.
Yeah.
So I definitely felt that's when she really went into Hazel's point of view on that point. Just so it really threw off us again who it really was.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Because then they get the milkshakes and they end up deciding to go like make them together or whatever. And I thought it was cute the scene where they go to Mac's to make them. And they use the blender.
Yeah.
And I think Mac has some dialogue in there, maybe like a random dishwasher back there.
I think it was Mac yelling from the front, talking about what his bare ass, like.
Oh, how no.
Yeah, because on the security cameras, because he was saying how he'll come down for like late night snacks.
Yeah.
I guess he lives in the apartment above.
Yeah, Mac lives. Yeah.
So he was like, dude, he was telling Hazel like, yeah, like what he doesn't know won't hurt him about my snacks, and he was like, dude, I know everything. I have security cameras. Like I've seen your white ass on my cameras. Like he's saying that to him, and he's like, no, and he's like, you mean muscular? And he's like, that is not what I mean. Like type of band. I totally love
Was
that.
there? Okay, this is complete sidebar, way later down the line. But I'm gonna see if I'm thinking about this book. Was there a sex scene in the bar?
No.
I skipped over it. I don't think so.
Okay.
I think they just kind of were. I feel like this is a part in the book where they start to get closer, because that first meetup, she's drunk, you know.
Yeah.
And at the bar, they're actually like kind of talking,
She
like
is
friendly.
sober, and she's able to be like, "Oh, Noah actually likes to be my friend."
Yeah.
And you know, instead of like her being drunk, and she's like, he probably feels so bad.
I mean, I may have missed
Especially
something,
because we find
but
that he's 25 and like in the bushes
Which
when they're together.
I ate up the fact that it was a reverse age gap.
Yeah.
I loved that.
She's like, oh my god, I can't do that.
I'm like, no, it's
so young.
perfectly legal. Perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I loved that so much. Because you never see a reverse age gap like that.
I think that was just them talking and learning more about each other, if anything. Because then I don't literally. In my review of it, it just goes from them making milkshakes, and then it felt so immediate of them going and doing the Ferris wheel clue.
It was.
I think there may have been a chapter where Annie, Jeannie, or Hazel, that like some of them are doing like a little girl debrief.
Yeah.
But it didn't really feel
But there really
like.
wasn't, because she really didn't talk to anybody until after the Ferris wheel, and that's when Annie was like, why the hell didn't you tell me anything about what was going on?
When does the beach scene happen?
That comes in
Like
later.
that happens a lot.
Because that's when they first start doing stuff, right? Like sexual stuff, right? Or is there a scene before?
No, there's they
little
kiss.
scene before that?
They kiss on the Ferris wheel.
But like sexy stuff happens at the
Yes,
beach. That's the first like
that is
intimate
first.
scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And in public, I was like,
And I was like,
old Miss
voyeurism?
Hazel.
Voyeurism? Excuse you?
Old Miss Hazel.
Excuse you?
yeah. But the next clue, it just kind of jumps really quick into the Ferris wheel, and so this is when they make the hands-off.
Yes.
Hazel and Noah, somewhat of fun.
That's
when they start doing that,
Yeah.
and that's where we learn how Hazel's scared of heights because her and Annie got stuck up there once.
Yep.
Which is just like super random traumatic experience that
just like thrown out.
Especially in a storm, I would have
Terrifying.
sobbed.
Yeah.
I could not do that.
Yeah, I liked that whole scene because I feel like we got to see a lot of Noah's character and how he is just like so goofy and very like, well, he is serious, especially when you get later on into like, you know, his familial stuff. But like at this point, like we get kind of like surface value of like he's a goofy guy And especially how he like always brings up like hands off and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he uses that he uses it more instead of Hazel and stuff
I don't know if maybe Hazel mentioned it once. I think hands off is all Noah.
He'd like text her and be like, hands off! Exclamation point.
Yeah. He's like, yes, I love this.
I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah.
I was like, I love a goofy man.
Yeah. Before they get on the Ferris wheel, they do like little games, and she gets to see him interact with a lot of the other people and little kids working. I know she gets like a giant penguin stuffy, and I wrote down, because we kind of forget about it because Noah's so goofy and obsessed with Hazel. I forget that in his past he was like kind of playerish with the tourists that come into town.
Because like, what is it? Jacob from the book club talks about that. Oh, I love this book. You know, like rake turned like family man.
Yes,
I love it.
Yeah,
that, and she's just like.
She's like,
because I think this was at the book club after the Ferris wheel when she saw them in the store because they were in like the
and then she starts like questioning them, right? About like the books.
Who's leading it, and then two of the members, I think like the actual like runners of the book club, like the oldest people there, I think at this point, they were not saying much, and she could feel they knew more than they were letting on, but they would not say anything.
Yeah.
Especially that, and then I guess one of the workers, like the younger girl that also worked there, she also was like, I don't know, like people coming out.
Yeah, everyone is being very suspicious. Weird. There was a time where I suspected the book club people, just because that felt like something they would be like, oh my gosh, like we're gonna put these two people together.
We're not 100% off on that point either.
Right.
So
literally. Could not. I'm so
I'm so excited for us to get there because I thought it was so funny.
It is someone from the book club, but I don't know names.
Anyways.
Or it's one of the books, like the people that work at the store.
Anyways, they have their second kiss on the Ferris wheel, and I think Hazel.
Completely sober.
Yeah, they're sober.
Yes.
And I think, is this the one where Hazel initiates it, or
no?
Noah does.
I think it was Noah, and then he was like we could kiss up here or something like that.
Yes.
Like, he would be like, how romantic would that be, type thing. And then she was like, you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah. That's what happened.
And also, just, like, I think, like, I'd like to also think, because he knows that she's afraid of heights, I'd like to also think that he did that as, like, a way to distract her.
Yeah.
I think it ended up being that
or
way.
Or change the subject and be like,
because he was like, woman, why didn't you tell him why you didn't want to go on Ferris?
As soon as I would have saw that, I've been like, nope, I'm scared of heights.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he knew she was scared of heights, and he was like having fun as a part, like can also be like facing your fears.
Yeah.
But she didn't tell him why she was afraid. Yeah. I felt like that's more important than I'm just afraid of heights. No, I felt like I almost died on this Ferris wheel last time.
Yeah,
that would have been a lot more helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I wrote down another quote, and after they kiss on the Ferris wheel, he like steps back, and all he says is to end the chapter is "Damn Hazel Kelly," and he just says that, and I
have that underlined too.
I felt like I was like, that is a quote. I feel like Jenna.
And then I loved her every time, like when he was like, "Well, how was it?" And she's like, "Transcendence," like all these big words, like
big words. I was like, "Girl, yes, I love that." I was like, "Don't be shy."
Woman.
Yeah, don't be shy of like explaining, like like how like good something was. I loved that.
Yeah, dude, I have to look up like one word, maybe,
maybe, or I just like completely ignored it, and I'm like, I'm gonna assume that means something good.
Hopefully, she's just meaning like this huge word, and he's thinking it's like good and low key.
But it's like, actually like shit.
It
actually was really bad.
And he's like, oh, okay, cool, move on.
That's where the dictionary comes in at the end.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. But then acts of service king, he brings Hazel her drink from the cafe. It's like a small little chapter where he goes and gets her drink. It's a really small chapter where they're just.
And I think like Annie was like, "See."
Yes, this is where Annie's there, and Annie and Noah kind of cross paths, leaving and going.
So much. She meddled in the first one. She meddled in the second one.
I'm afraid we are all Hazel and Annie.
Honestly, we were all combinations.
We were like, "Oh, well, I relate to her so much," and I was like, "Well, of course we do. We work in a bookstore, guys."
Yeah,
like, we're gonna relate to her.
We're not
the average person,
right? But then I think this is where they conversate about Hazel's opinion on the beach, and Noah's like, "Let me plan this beach day, all on me, and let's do this. Like your opinion of the beach is gonna change."
Yeah.
And so now we're at the beach, and I put like they're finding treasure, the seashells. I thought that was really cute.
I was in the car listening to the scene, and it's like, why is it every time I'm in the goddamn car, they want to pull some out-of-pocket shit on me? I was like, what? So my Goodreads, do not listen with people around. That's exactly what I said. So it's like, usually sometimes you'll have like a build-up and you kind of know what's happening.
No, it was
fucking left
and you
field for me.
And you know what's really funny that
well?
they did before they just got a little dirty on this beach is there's a scene, I don't know, maybe I got the book ick, but no, it doesn't ick me out. It's just this scene because I pictured it in person. There's seagulls and Hazel doesn't like seagulls and he runs he runs to shoo them away. And I read that and I said, I'm gonna forget this happened.
Dude, the way I literally was imagining going like that. Like, you know how in Rio, the man where he's like, oh, this is how the birds dance.
Yeah.
Like, this is literally what I was imagining for this man.
It's the same ick of like when a ping pong ball like falls across the table and the guy's like trying to run after it.
Yeah, so
it's the same thing.
This is before they're nasty and Hazel's like, yeah.
That's specific.
No, because anytime a ping pong ball like falls off, like just like having to like awkwardly chase it, it gives me the ick. It's the funniest thing ever.
But yeah.
So funny.
You're like, the chance never chase a
Chance never chase.
Let it roll.
Let it roll. Wait till it
Let it
stops.
go.
Okay.
But yeah.
Wait till it stops. Yeah. I like, although like this scene was a complete 180, I wasn't necessarily like expecting it at all. I kind of ate it up, especially because like he waits a long time until he receives any pleasure, right?
Isn't it like he doesn't receive anything until the town hall meeting?
Well,
I think isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, after
because they're in the closet.
Yeah.
Right.
There is one scene, but it's like kind of short for him. It's more dragged out for her.
Gotcha.
Right.
Is that when they're in the house?
So like after.
Oh, yeah, because
yes,
he does something to her, and then she's like, "I'm gonna go down."
They both,
like,
they both go down on each other, but
Right.
hers is first, and then his is second.
And I don't think she completely finishes it, does she?
I can't remember. I just know that chapter is shorter.
Well, obviously, I don't think so because of the "I swallowed" comment. That goddamn scares the shit out of me when I'm in the car. Again, in the car.
Never
like
listened
that.
to
This is why I cannot do romance audiobooks because I'm just like
But like Pumpkin Spice was not that bad.
Mhm.
So going into this, it was like honestly, like I'll probably see it coming.
Yeah.
I obviously didn't see any of it coming.
Yeah.
At all.
I feel like after the beach scene, it really was like I think like they solidified like okay, this is going to be a friends with benefits kind of situation, and I loved that in this case because it's like Hazel.
She needed that.
She needed that. She knew what she wanted. We knew like from the get go that like she wanted to feel sexy and not from like another person making her feel like that, but she you know what I mean?
Feel it for herself.
Yeah,
Yes.
because at the beach scene is where she was like, that's where she initiated the like make out scene that started all of it, and now she's, because they go to the house, and from before that, that's when Hazel goes to the bar when he's kind of helping Mac bartend.
When she brings the book.
And she brings the book, and I'm like, yeah, me.
Me.
I would go to a bar and
Especially
bring
like
a
her
book.
comment where she was like, "Oh, like do you always just like read at bars?" And she's like, "Well, I do, and the person I want to talk to is busy serving other people."
Yeah.
Like Miss
Right.
Hazel,
Wait, yeah.
she knows what
Miss
she
Hazel.
wants.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
And
love
she starts
her
getting
being
bold.
a go-getter.
Right.
I
that
loved
part.
that. Like she just got so confident. She was always confident, but I think like not always.
This was a different confidence.
It
She was
was.
confident in who she was as a person,
Mhm.
but as her 30s were approaching, and she's like, "I've done nothing.
Yeah.
Like, what do I?" Because obviously, like a lot of people, when it's like the 30s thing, like heck, we have 13 going on 30 with like what is it? Jennifer Aniston? Or no, wrong person. Jennifer Gardner.
Yes.
Sorry, wrong Jennifer.
Yes.
But we have that. Like that really shows you like. They always basically everybody puts that woman or people in general have to have it together by their 30s. They need to be solidified in their
married,
job field,
have kids,
married, everything, and kind of like this. Basically, being 30, you're supposed to be this really sexy person going into it.
A
like,
MILF.
that's kind of literally, quite
Right.
literally, is what you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So we definitely see her freaking out because she was like, "I've been at the same bookstore since it opened, since I was like in high school.
Yeah, I've had a nose in a book for like my whole life.
never done anything. I never went to any parties because XYZ. Like, you know, so then she was confident, but then there was that insecurity that was popping up because she was like, look at all these people around me and they're doing so many different things, which I feel like we feel that at every age. Because even being
There's always
21
imposter syndrome.
right now,
Yeah.
like, I'm not graduating college anytime soon, at least for the next couple of years. And that imposter syndrome, like, I should have already been done. I should have already been going into grad school, that type of thing. Like, you definitely feel that at every stage of life. So seeing that definitely brought a different human aspect to her. And a lot of kind of that connection we got to build with Hazel. Especially because, of course, you're reading a book. You obviously love books, so you built that with her as well.
Yeah.
So I felt like there was as much stuff as we had kind of in Pumpkin Spice with the sad backstories. We had more of a connection to her with this backstory because almost anybody and everybody could relate to this one in some type of way.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't know if y'all have ever felt this way, but not saying my friends and family hate that I read all the time, but sometimes they're like, why don't you go out and party and do all this stuff and, you know, go out and get your nose out of a book. And I feel like it's a lot of people, like, I feel like y'all would understand that.
There's a lot of pressure on that.
Yeah,
It really
and
is, especially being so young. They're like, you're gonna regret, like, your
Yes.
20s. You're not,
Like, it's the best time of your life.
like,
and
go
like,
have
go
fun.
out.
You know what? I am having the best time of
In
my
my-
life.
with my
Doing
nose
the
in a
way
book.
I want to do it.
Yeah, like what I enjoy, what we enjoy is going to be different than like
anyone else's.
exactly like
Yeah.
no one is the same. And like what I thought Hazel's like character was so refreshing because it's like we all said, like we view ourselves in her, and like it kind of proved to the audiences that like you don't have to have your crap together at a certain age and stuff like that. And like for me, like I'm having to take a gap year, like I'm having to like reapply for grad school and stuff like that. And so like I've been like really struggling with like the imposter syndrome and stuff like that. But this book, when I read it, was like right about when I found out that I was having to take a gap year. And so like I needed it, honestly. Like it allowed me to like really see myself within Hazel in a lot of ways and be like, wow, she's so sure of herself. She knows what she wants. She is feeling sexy, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Like just because your path isn't the same as anybody else's doesn't mean we're behind or not on the right path. Just because we have different things. And as deep as we're getting in this book, I feel like a lot of people see it as a surface level thing and aren't really delving into that really as much. But it is true. She did amazing with Hazel's character. I couldn't love her more, quite honestly. And I think that's why it really got a 4 for me.
Yeah, the book.
Because
of her character.
She was just a lovable character and so relatable that it was hard not to like her.
Yeah.
As much as like at points where you're like, come on, like, dude, open your goddamn
You
eyes.
can talk to Noah and be like, hey, I like you. Let's date.
Right.
You're about to be 30. Tell him.
Right.
Literally.
But anyways, I have 3 main events in this book that we were going to talk about. Now we're at the town meeting where we meet Kira, who's going to do the Christmas tree farm, supposedly.
Or, well, not do the Christmas
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Who knows? We'll see when we read it.
And this is the scene I feel like is stuck in our minds for some weird reason. Is just the closet scene.
It's
where
gonna
they
be engraved
leave
forever.
Where they leave and they go in the closet and they be nasty. And they're like, all these it's just funny just to picture all these decorations are around them and they're like, oh, let's set the mood. Let's turn on this Christmas tree light, or like some of this, and like
so
dim which is so random. I can't remember what all they do in there. I just think it was so bizarre that like they're having a town meeting close by, and they're like,
your father is running the town meeting.
Well, he was planning on talking at this town meeting about the bungalows.
About his ideas.
He was planning on it, and then Hazel was like, "Do you want to get out of here?" Like she's like being so fucking horny next to him.
Yeah.
Because they're at I don't know where that came
your
from.
father is speaking at the
And
town meeting.
like he's like, well, no, like I want to stay for this one. And then she was like, wait, so you don't want to go with me? Like that insecurity came back and it was like, you know what? I don't even know what I'm gonna say. Let's go.
Yeah.
And then like, where are we even gonna go? Was the question. And then she was like, basically, I know a place.
You have a house.
Closet.
You have a home.
A
You could have gone. You both have homes.
And it's a small town. How far was that walk?
They were needing it. They were needing it.
Yeah, because they're like, he's like, oh yeah, like, are you sure you're gonna keep this in? And then she gets down on her knees for him.
Yup.
And then like, this is what got me. This is what really got me. Because I'm driving in the car. I'm on the way here. My fiance is in the seat next to me, and we're listening. And I have this thing at 3 times speed. So it is just moving at this point. And all of a sudden, she's like, and I did the first. This is the I did a thing like I have never really done before. I swallowed. And I paused it, and I was like, oh my god. And he was like, what the hell do you listen to? I have to censor your books from now on because what is this? That's what he told me.
I think.
And he was like, I didn't know this was gonna happen. I didn't know this was gonna happen. He watches The Boys.
I love The Boys.
No. That little woman.
Yeah. I love The Boys.
Does worse things.
Yeah.
That woman who can shrink herself, she'd be doing some crazy shit. So for him to talk about my books was outrageous.
Yeah.
I can just envision like Hazel being like, and I did the one thing I didn't think I would. I swallowed. Like that's how I envisioned her reading it. And I was like, this is Slay Queen. Slay.
Yeah.
And I was like, he was like, wow, you didn't have to do that. And he was like,
I was like,
what were you gonna do?
Spit it on you? Like, what do you want me to do?
What were you gonna do? Put it in the mop bucket and hope you finds it? Like, so he's gonna be like, wow, what happened to the mop? It got so hard overnight. That wasn't the only thing that night. Goddamn.
Yeah. Like, I loved how surprised Noah was. I was like, what do you think? What do you want from this to happen?
Like on the floor? Like, where was it gonna go?
Yeah.
Where was it gonna go?
Yeah.
God.
But then, there's not much that happens after this, because then it's right into the boat clue, where they go on the boat, and they actually have, like, intercourse and sex, and they're dirty, and it's in the storm, and this is the build-up to the third act breakup kind of thing.
Yeah, which honestly, that really wasn't.
It wasn't a huge one comparison
which
to Pumpkin.
I kept trying to find it.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I don't mind this.
Yeah.
But what's it called? Especially y'all. I know y'all haven't seen Star Wars. I know you haven't. But so there's this joke in the Star Wars community about Anakin. Why he hates. That's not the joke.
I know Hayden Christensen because he's who.
But he talks about sand from Tatooine because that's where he like grew up.
Okay.
Essentially, and he's like, I hate sand. It's coarse and rough and it gets everywhere. And then she talks about that it like sand there almost the exact same way about like Dream Harbor doesn't have any real sand. It's rough and it's coarse, and I was like, oh my god, I can't unhear this.
I can't unhear this. The comparisons there are too much.
I was like, she's my Anakin in this story right now. Are you serious?
That's crazy.
So I was like, yeah, I was like, I know you know nothing about
I would
Star
know,
Wars.
but the fact that you caught it though.
But that nerd, horrible. I don't know. It's like,
I love it.
But I was like, I can't get over that part.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. It ruined the sex scene for me because all I could think about
was the sand.
Was the sand.
Well, the thing that ruined it for me is I forgot in this book that Noah has a weird obsession with her cotton panties.
Oh, he brought those suckers up
in my brain, when I think cotton panties, I think, you know,
period panties.
Yes, your granny period panties.
The Sorry to the males listening.
Like, go up to here.
Yes, and he's like, yes, and they're your run-down panties that like aren't the sexiest or whatever. And Noah is all about those damn.
But like he makes a comment of like all the women that he's been with have like these like sexy lacy things, and so it kind of was like a read of being like, yeah, and she doesn't wear these things. She just wears.
She's so different.
Yeah, she's so different. She doesn't.
She's not like the other girls.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then he says it to her, and she was like, "Oh my god, I only have like one pair.
Like, should I
put them on?" And he's like, "No, like I love it."
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
That was my only thing. It's just I forgot how obsessed he was with her cotton panties, and then I thought it was cute how after they did it, they read both their books and they just chilled and.
The way I could do that with my dyslexic boyfriend, but I can't.
The way I wish I can.
Yes, I'll be halfway through it.
Yeah, this
is
all in a storm.
That's the boat. That's the boat.
This was
like,
all
I'm
in a
supposed to
storm.
keep her safe. I'm supposed to da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
And then he felt bad, and she's like, oh my god, that was the hottest thing ever. You docked the boat.
You saved me.
You know what? I'd be like, you saved me.
I think I'd be the
To be fair,
Jackson.
me and my fiance kind of had a meet cute of that sort because we almost died on a boat together, and that's what we were like. That's how it's
Trauma bonded.
I literally, that's what we said. We trauma bonded because my uncle tried to put us in the goddamn bay in South Padre Island. Like half the boat was underwater. We were in a pontoon boat, like racing to the back of the boat, trying to like raise it. So yeah, I kind of like understood that a little bit.
That was comical.
That's insane. But yeah.
So me and Hazel are the same person.
Yeah, we're the same.
Yeah, this book felt really real for Kourtney. She was like, oh my gosh, this is my life.
Oh my god, did you stop me?
Yeah, and then after this is kind of when Hazel finds out that Noah is leaving for a little bit to go be with his sister, who we find out is pregnant, and she's going to be on bed rest, I think, for a little bit, and he's just helping out with the girls.
He kind of said a little bit of that, but then she was like, oh my god, he's never coming back.
Yes.
Yeah, she had a really big freak out. Like, really, like, I was not expecting
that was
her.
kind of their third act breakup, and that's why I was like, I literally said it in the car, I was like, I'm just waiting for the third act breakup, and then she's like, oh my god, like, you're leaving forever, like, maybe we should just be friends, like, we should just end this.
Their
like,
conversation starts kind of just, like, not being there anymore.
Yeah.
But he was like, no, that's not what he wants. He kind of put himself in that, like,
wait, didn't Logan, like, kind of talk some sense into Hazel?
At the
like,
party.
Logan came
after the party.
and was like, hey,
because
you're
she was
fine.
avoiding him at the party.
Yep.
She was avoiding.
Because she gets her last clue, and it's the birthday party for her, and there she's expecting to be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go up to Noah and be like, I know you've been doing this. And this is where we find out who is actually doing the clues, and I think it is the funniest thing where, do you want to say it, Kourtney, or do you want me to?
I'll say it. It's her dad.
Oh my god! It's the mayor. And the funniest part of it is he goes, what? I saw him in my dreams. While everyone's like not believing him and like he pictured.
And then there was like treasure and pirates or something.
Yes, and he like was low key. His dreams were. I was like, oh my gosh, his dreams work. You know, everyone was hating on him, and he's like,
I totally forgot.
I saw these in my like. You know what? I can't even hate it because I thought it was really funny and cute that the mayor got to live out that he was actually. Yeah, and he was like, you know what? I just saw like treasure and pirates and blueberries and whatever. And he was like, let me just go do this. And he thought it would be a fun scavenger hunt
for her. Just like leaving.
I mean, also, hey, precious, and it did its job.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not mad about it being him.
She had a whole crisis about it too. Yeah. Because she was like the whole time because he got the book club involved and like the bookseller that was there.
She thought that it was Noah. She started to feel really like
well, Jeannie and Annie really kind of pushed it after she told them everything about the boat, about everything. So they kind of pushed it, which Jeannie then did feel bad about it because she didn't know, obviously, and Logan kind of told her that. So she was just she's like, everybody thinks I just need to get out more, and like everybody agrees with how I'm already feeling. It kind of solidified it a little bit for her, but I was like, she wasn't seeing the part where it's her dad just wanting her to have fun and thought this was be a cute way to surprise her.
Something that she loves books. Yeah. And like, you know, and doing it in a more personal way.
Yeah, which he did clarify that he would pay for all the books.
Yes.
He did.
Yes, he did do that.
Because then after this is when we have the cute little heart-to-heart with Logan and Hazel, and we find out her middle name's Rainbow or whatever, and because like she doesn't, no one knows her middle name except for Logan. I really like Logan and Hazel's friendship relationship.
You got to really see it blossom in this, like completely, and I loved that so much.
Yeah, and then what is it? After this, it just feels like all of the friend group kind of talks to Noah and Hazel separately about each other, kind of like what happened in Pumpkin. And then it brings us to our grand gesture at the end where I thought this was really cute how he got books and highlighted lines that reminded him.
The time that he took to do that.
And it all reminded him of her, and I thought that was really cute. Honestly, I like this grand gesture kind of thing more than the pumpkin one too.
Yeah, because it was very personal.
It was more thoughtful than I'm just coming to get you whether you want me to.
I'm gruff man.
And I'm gonna yell in this guy's face. I love you.
But yeah, and then that kind of brings us up to they kiss and make up, and we have Friendsgiving.
Yes.
And we get little crumbs of Mac and Annie and their attention.
And then Logan's gonna propose. And Bennett's coming to town.
Yes. Sets up for the next one.
Yes. And then brings us up to our epilogue, which is 6 months later, and they're on their little vacation, I think.
Yeah, I think they're in Aruba for like 2 weeks because she was like, I'm gonna take some time off, and then she's like in a tent with a long sleeve shirt on and a giant ass hat, type thing. So that's going on. So she's just kind of she's more relaxed with him, and then and then they're getting married.
Yeah, there's a proposal.
They're getting married in Aruba.
Usually I can suspect in the epilogue when they're going to propose. I'm like, they're going to propose in the epilogue because it's really done a lot, but this one, for some reason, caught me off guard.
Because I loved how just spontaneous. He was like, we're getting married.
He was like, you want to get married? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Like, I already set everything up. I figured out how to do it. We can get married right now.
Yeah.
And at first, she's like so taken aback. And then she's like, you know what? Let's do it.
It's very them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with all the buildup that we've had in the whole book. And then even with like pumpkin spice. It definitely didn't feel too out of left field as much as somebody would have assumed it would
Totally.
be.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of the whole book. I think our general thoughts is we just really like the characters in this one a little bit more.
It felt more realistic. Yeah,
It felt very, very...
The third act breakup was kind of like smaller, like it wasn't really much.
I liked it wasn't something ridiculously dumb.
Yeah.
Or something
and I
like
enjoyed that it wasn't
left
the both of them. It was Hazel needing, because like it was Hazel like just completely
being in
getting
her
like
head.
being
The
in her
actual
head.
anxiety of like people, that would make sense though.
Yes.
For a
Yes.
third act breakup, that would make sense, being the anxieties of that whole situation. He was leaving. There was nothing tying him to Dream Harbor.
Yeah.
So for her to like be like, oh my god, he's leaving forever, because he didn't actually give her a time frame.
Very true.
He didn't say when. He just said he was going home to help out. He didn't say what he was really helping out with. He didn't explain that until later with his grand gesture on the beach in the whole sand dune like area thing that he did.
Yeah.
So like,
and then in
it
the
made
epilogue,
sense.
like they have like Noah's, all of his bungalows or whatever get like approved, and they start working on that.
And then like with the nieces, they were so cute. A little bit of that, and then saying how they visited the nephew. That was sad, and she was like, "I love a man with a baby." Like, in his house, of course, like he'll come back for that.
Yeah.
But
We saw that they just like kind of like your questions from like last time, just kind of bringing this one up about, do we think they'll last as characters after the book? Absolutely.
Yeah, I think
Just
them
how it
more so
was.
than Logan and Gigi.
This was more friends to lovers, and I really liked that aspect.
Yes. I love like friends to lovers. I feel like in any case, I feel like they are always the most strongest relationship.
Right.
Because they already have so
They
much
already have
connection.
that foundation that was built where they know that they like each other outside the bounds of a physical connection.
Yeah, lust.
They have a deeper connection in just friends-wise where, hey, I can hang out with you and have to do nothing all day.
Yeah.
Like, it's different.
I think we probably could answer this one pretty easily. This could be our last question. Like, did our favorite and least favorite character change any? After reading this one now, I think we all really liked Hazel.
Yeah, I loved Hazel.
Hazel definitely became my favorite. Especially because at first I was like, oh, Jeannie's such a, like, go-getter boss kind of thing.
Yeah.
Somebody I aspire to, but Hazel is somebody who is already me.
Yeah.
And kind of something that it made me feel, I guess, secure in who I am as a person and being okay with it. And like, oh, I don't have to be this go person, go all the time. I can handle anything.
Right.
I can have my insecurities and anxieties and love to read my books and have like hot tea all the time and be fine. Like, it's okay.
And be happy with it.
Yeah.
And not
absolutely
allow
and be okay
people
with
around
my
us.
small town and not want to leave it for a big city type thing.
Right.
Yes.
I don't know if we have any least favorite characters. I think it's
No, not really.
It's hard to have a least favorite character when
I mean,
the
Kira.
books are Kira.
Kira. Maybe.
But we got like 2 seconds of that woman.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, I cannot wait because she's gonna be so
she was
grumpy.
like absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
So
I'm
cannot
very
wait.
curious to how Christmas Tree Farm goes, just because.
Oh,
I felt like
in right after.
Yeah, I feel like these 2 books, they were very same friend group, but this third book is like out of left field. It's the brother and this random girl that's coming in.
And they don't know the town.
Yeah, and so I'm very curious to see how that one goes and
how the relationships kind of mesh.
And kind of if they immerse themselves into this kind of main friend group that we have going on in these first 2 books. But
I can't wait for the found family.
Because Bennett's already kind of had himself in kind of
with the book club and his sister.
Yeah, I cannot wait for like the found family that we're gonna be seeing.
Yes.
I cannot wait for that. But yeah, that
I
does.
just think Kira's been hurt, man.
True. I can't wait to
she's gonna
trauma.
Yep. Something's gonna be brought up.
Wait. Yeah, I'm very excited. But that does bring us to our next episode. Will be about the Christmas Tree Farm by Laurie Gilmore, finishing out, you know, our like this initial like trilogy. But obviously more are coming out in the spring and stuff like that. But yeah, do we have any like last minute things we want to say or anything like that?
I feel like I got everything.
I know we got everything out.
I think we hit all the points.
Yeah.
Really.
Love.
So.
Alright. Thanks guys for listening. And we'll see y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.